It looks like Miss Shea Glenn helps to kick us off. And we've got Woodrow Barnes and Skip Wolf falling back in. Woodrow Barnes of the Antelope Livestock Club, Shea Glenn with the Sumner Livestock Club, and Skip Wolf of the Antelope Livestock Club. Here's our three Clover kids. We'll soon kick it over to our judge, Miss Bailey Hinrichs, who grew up in a diversified farming and cattle operation near Air, Nebraska. Most of her younger years consumed with participation in 4-H showing cattle at homes, as well as participating in showing cattle at a state and national level. She's had a passion for agriculture from a young age and has been truly blessed to be able to get back to the industry to help shape who she is today. Bailey attended Nebraska College of Technical Agriculture and was a member of the livestock judging team, fortunate enough to place in the top 10 of multiple national level contests. After graduating college, she returned to the family operation, where they raised a diversified row crop of corn, soybeans, and wheat, also raising purebred Charolais cattle, in which they have a male and female sale annually. They also have a commercial cow herd. She says it's humbling to be an honor to be a part of the job and to judge some livestock shows and work with great youth that are the future of the industry. Bailey, thank you so much for being our judge here this year at the Dawson County Fair. We go ringside for the Clover Kid Showmanship.
It's a pleasure to be back again today. We're going to go ahead and start off with the Clover Kids. What is your name? What's your sheep's name? And what's the funniest thing your sheep knows?
My name is Ted Wolf and there's no four. There's no four. Whoa, wow.
She rolls around. Oh, all right. Ready? Sounds very good. All right. Awesome. What's the funniest thing your sheep does? Licks your belt. Oh, you right there? Awesome. You guys are doing a great job. Let's give them a round of applause, and we'll see them back in a couple of years.
And the results here out of your Clover Kid Showmanship. Looks like receiving purple ribbons across the board is Woodrow Barnes, Shea Glenn, and Skip Wolf. Congratulations to our Clover Kids and their purple ribbon performance. As they exit out the ring, that'll take us now over to our juniors. With what appears to be, I believe, a single entry junior sheep showmanship class. We swing the gate and won't come back in. That's Jackson Armstead of the Antelope Livestock Club in their single entry junior showmanship contest. And donating our Junior 4-H Sheep Showmanship Championship Trophy is the Kent Young family. Thank you to the Kent Young family for donating the sheep trophy. If we have a representative of the Kent Young family following the conclusion of the class, you can head to the backdrop for the official picture and trophy presentation.
Single entry here to start off into our junior showmanship. The young man's doing an excellent job. He'll be your champion junior showman. Let's give him a round of applause.
Receiving a purple and your champion junior showman is Jackson Armstead of Cozad Antelope Livestock. Again, purple in class champion overall on the junior showmanship side. I'll take us immediately now into our intermediate showmanship on the sheep side. Seniors be getting ready. And we welcome into the ring our intermediate sheep showman. This includes Katie Wolf of Antelope Livestock, Bodie Quinn of Sumner Livestock, Megan Wallahosky of Sumner Livestock, Grant Wallahosky of Sumner Livestock, Augustus Barnes of Antelope Livestock, and Katie Anderson of the Tail Twisters 4-H Club. This makes up your intermediate sheep showmanship class. Thank you to Bruce and Julie Rickardson and family for sponsoring our intermediate sheep showmanship. Bruce and Julie or Rickardson family representative, if you're in the area, you can have the backdrop immediately following our intermediate showmanship class for the trophy presentation. Thank you, Bruce and Julie Rickardson and family.
all these kids are doing a really nice job. As we stated yesterday, I'll go around and talk with each kid individually on things they're doing well and things they can improve upon. I think, like I said, they're all doing a nice job. I'll go out and I'll shake the hand of your champion and reserve. Same as yesterday, showmanship kind of comes down to the finer details and just how much attention you're paying to where you're at. In the show ring where you get that land set, just making sure you've got the legs where they need to be and getting that head in the right angles to help that particular land look their best. And that's just part of knowing your project and knowing where they look the best at. But like I said, all 5 of them are doing a great job. We'll give them a round of applause. I'll take the champion in reserve.
And the results out from your intermediates. Purple in class will be Megan and Grant Wallahosky. Blue in class will be Katie Wolf, Buddy Clem, and Augustus Barnes. Your champion, junior or intermediate sheep showman, is Grant Wallahosky of the Summer Livestock. Your reserve champion is Megan Wallahosky of the Summer Livestock. Nothing like a little sibling rivalry to get the day started off with in our intermediate showmanship. I'll take us now to our senior class of sheep showing as they kick us off. 2 entries in this class. As we swing the gate, we welcome in our senior sheep showman. This includes Paige Wallahosky of Sumner Livestock and Samuel Winter of Sail Twisters 4-H Club. Your senior trophy is presented by the Keith White family and the Keith White family in their support of the senior 4-H sheep showmanship trophy. As a representative of the Keith White family here, please join in the backdrop following the conclusion of the class.
females out here into our senior contest, and maybe a couple lambs that aren't wanting to cooperate quite as well as they would hope this morning, and that is part of it. I think they're both doing a nice job of just keeping patient with them and still working and trying to get them set and everything. I think just some attention to detail, and maybe one that's just really, really working constantly, trying to get that lamb shown to the best of the ability. But I'll go out and I'll shake the hand of your champion reserve. Let's give them both a round of applause on the job well done this morning.
Receiving both purple in class, and your champion, senior chief showman, is Paige Walahoski of the Sumner Livestock. Your reserve champion, senior showman, is Samuel Winter of the Tail Twisters 4-H Club. Once again, let's put our hands together for all of our chief showmen at the 2026 Dawson County Fair. Excellent showing there. We turn the page now and we get ready for our breeding chief show, as we kick things off with our crossbred commercial ewes born in January 2026. As we were talking about earlier, the 4-H Cafe's got all your goodies, still plenty of shifts, so you can help volunteer and be a member over at the 4-H Cafe. You don't have to be a 4-H'er to still give back to your community. 4-H Cafe is still looking for more hands on deck. Thank you to Eastside Animal Center, and they are hosting our breakfast this morning. I don't know if there's been better cinnamon rolls than those. Orange juice coffee is still available. Thank you to Eastside Animal Center for that. This afternoon, we'll have the new show starting around 4 p.m. As well, we've got night number 1 at the Platte Valley Auto Rodeo barbecue, free barbecue with the purchase of a rodeo ticket. Starting around 6 p.m., the rodeo at 8 p.m. here this evening. Coming up tomorrow afternoon at 5 p.m., the inaugural Dawson County 4-H Radio Auction. Helping get back to some great years. Well, looks like we're lining some kids up back behind, getting things out and ready to go. So we'll be kicking off with our breeding sheep show here in just a few minutes. Thank you once again to Bailey Hendricks and Nebraska, our judge today, for an awesome job with our youth, taking the time to talk and work through them with that great garage. A lot of great things are coming up. Don't forget the exhibit building open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Make sure to check it out if you haven't had the chance to go through that. As well, the beef carcass scanning is happening for another hour till 10. Make sure you go back over, check everything out. We soon get open. We come back to action here with January 2026 more new lambs. This includes back number 542, Paige Walahoski, and 543, Megan Walahoski.
Nice pair of ewes to start off into the breeding division here. I like both of them quite a lot. I'm going to go ahead and leave them in the order they came in, with the young ladies to my right being the class champion. I think this one's just a little bit bolder. She's a little bit bigger ribbed. I think she's one that's really, really good in terms of you get them on the profile. She gives you such a nice look. She balances up really well. She's really smooth and still has plenty of power and dimension to her as well. I think she's a little bit better at the angle of her shoulder. I like to see quite a lot. The ewe that's going to be second is awfully good in her own right as well. I like the added length to her. She's maybe a little bit greener, and I appreciate that about her. I think she's really good in terms of that right. She's so long. She too gives you a nice look. She's maybe just a little bit straighter at the point of her shoulder. Maybe just doesn't have quite as much center volume and capacity as that one up ahead of her, but a really nice pair of them. Let's put our hands together for them.
Your results out of Class 1, your January 2026 born ewes. This includes first in purple, 542, Paige Wallahosky. Second in purple, Megan Wallahosky, back number 543. We'll now move over into our Dorper Cross class, class number 2. Back to January 2026 born ewes. Again, a Dorper Cross. They include Katie Wolf and back number 410, Augustus Barnes.
Another nice class to use here, kind of our Dorper Cross class. Both of them are really good. I like the young Nancy to start the class. I think she's one that just bounces up just a little bit better. She's a little bit square out of her hip and down into the ground. I think she's one that reads with just a little bit more circumference of bone. Certainly one that's a little bit more powerful when you step in behind her and study over the top side of her skeleton. She gives you a nice look. She balances up well. A nice place to start the class. The young lady's kind of dapple doe ewe that comes next is one that too gives you a nice look. I like her about her head and her neck and the way she ties into her shoulder. She's maybe got a little more at the base of her skeleton there. She's got a little bit more chest floor in her. Maybe one that just isn't quite as stout as that one right up ahead of her, but a really nice pair of them. Let's put our hands together for them.
And your results out of class number 2, the Dorper Cross for January born ewes. First in purple will be back number 410, Augustus Barnes. And your second in purple will be Katie Wolf. I'll take us down to class number 3. These are Dorper Cross ewes born late January 2026. And they include back number 536, Samuel Winter, and back number 409, Jackson Armstead. The Dorper Cross for late January 2026. Class number 3.
nice pair of ewes out here. I think just some give and take between each of them. Ultimately, I'm going to go with the young man's kind of predominantly white-bodied one here. I think she's one that's just a little bit older through the center third of her body. She's got a little bit more rib shape to her, maybe just a little bit further along in terms of maturity. We're both good enough at the ground, as he said, and in motion. I think one that just has a little bit more volume and capacity. The young man's kind of spotted up one that's going to be second. I like this one just in terms of muscle shape. I think she's a little bit stouter right out of the top of her shoulder blade there. She's maybe one that just gives up a little bit, gets a little flatter as you step right in behind her, just gets a little bit shorter front and two as you compare them side to side here with a nice pair of them out here now.
And your results coming out of class number 3, late January 26, born Dorper Cross Shoes. First in purple, back number 409, Jackson Armstead. Second in purple in class 536, Samuel Winter. I'll take us now to class number 4, single entry Dorper Cross Shoe, born February 2026. For our first and seconds out of classes 1 through 3, be on standby as we have classes 4 and 5 post single entries. We'll move through these classes quickly and be ready for the championship drive. So again, first and seconds, be on standby for the championship drive. And the ring now is class number 4, Dorper Cross Shoes, born February 2026. That includes back number 536, Samuel Winter.
A single entry out here, and the young man brings us a nice view. I think this one's just really good in terms of practicality and functionality. She gets out and moves well. She's big and bold through the center portion of her body. She's still got some muscle shape. She's long-sided. Just really nice view. We'll look forward to seeing her back out here in a moment.
And the first in purple in class number 4 is 536, Samuel Winter. We open the gate now. Welcome back in class number 5. These are crossbred commercial wool ewes born December 2024. This is an HG class, single entry, back number 544, Grant Wallahosky, for December 2024 born ewe.
Another single entry up here, and the young man brings us a really nice view. She's one that gives you a nice look from the side. She's got a ton of power packed into her, yet one that's really smooth in her design. We'll see you back out here momentarily as well.
And your first in purple in class number 5 is 544, Grant Wallahosky, with his crossbred commercial HG on December 2024. That'll take us down to our championship drive of the 2026 Dawson County Breeding Show. And the judge and ring stewards coordinate to make sure everybody's on the same page. We welcome back in all of our firsts and seconds. As Bailey Hendricks, our judge today, will be making the sorts. A graduate in Nebraska College of Technical Agriculture and an experienced career in judging and national contests across the country and many top 10 finishes. We're excited to have her here today, sorting our show, doing an outstanding job with our youth. Let's welcome in your championship drive, coming back in from class number 1. In first contention for champion, 542, Paige Wallahosky. Back in from class number 2, of your first January Borns. Is 410, Augustus Barnes. Coming back in from your late January Borns is 409, Jackson Armstead. Coming back in from class 5, February Golfer Youth, that'll be a Samuel winner, back number 536. And coming back in from your age 1 youth class, that's 534 Grant Wallahoski, ladies and gentlemen, 2024 born youth. This is your championship drive. We go ringside. Let our judge take it from here.
A really nice lineup of the youth as we get our class first and seconds out here. Young ladies, you that wins that first class is one that's really striking in terms of appearance. You really want to gravitate towards her and just keep looking at her. She gives you such a good look. She's really well balanced, and yet she's still got muscle. She's still got body and volume. And when she gets out and finally decides to go, I like the way that this man just gets out and walks with some authority. A nice view from that class. The young man's kind of darker will view here that comes next is one that's just really practical and functional about her build. She's good in her structure. She's got some width and dimension to her. She's maybe not the longest fronted one of any of them out here, but I still think one that's really practical and good in her own right. The young man's view that comes next, the predominantly white body one here, is one that is a little bit longer and more extended through that front 1/3 of her body. And with that, she's got a little bit more length and skeleton as well. She's maybe just not quite as stout and pulled apart when you step right in behind her as you compare it to some views on either side of her, but a really good one as well. They kind of spotted up one that's going to come next with a painted up one. I think she had a nice look from the side. I think she's really youthful and green in terms of her head and her neck, and I like that about her. I think she's appropriate in terms of a fat cover and a breeding standpoint, one that's good at the ground and nicely there as well. The ewe that runs out the drive out here in our final class is one that, from a muscle standpoint, is probably the stoutest featured one. I'd say she's probably one of the wider chested ones. You stepping her out of the top side of her shoulder over her loin and her back, and she's really, really stout. She's really big when you step in behind her. I'd like her to take just a little bit longer step. I don't know if she's fighting just a little bit, but she maybe just doesn't take quite as long of a step as preferred, but certainly one that's really good in terms of how much muscle she has, and I really like that about her. I'll go out and I'll shake the hand of your champion. If there's a respective second, they can pull into that spot and we'll take a look. But congratulations to the breeding you exhibitors. You guys have done a phenomenal job.
Coming back in from class number 1, your champion breeding will be 542 Paige Wallahoski with a crossbred this January born commercial. That will bring Megan Wallahoski's crossbred January born commercial in for reserve contention.
So we pull that second place out here, another one that gives you a nice look. She's really long-sided. I like that about her. I think she's one that's a little bit more green, but I'm okay with that. I think this one just has a lot of upside and potential. She's certainly one that's, like I said, long. I like her angle of her hop and the way she sits down at the ground. I think one that has a good future ahead of her. It maybe gets a little bit closer for a reserve between a couple of them. But some really nice views out here. I'll go out and make a selection. Congratulations to each one of you.
And the class stays together. Your reserve champion coming back in from class number 1. That's back number 543, Megan Wallahoski with a crossbred commercial unit born January 2026. So again, your champion is a Paige Wallahoski, reserve champion Megan Wallahoski, both crossbred commercial wool ewes born January 2026. Let's put our hands together once again for the 2026 Dawson County 4-H Breeding Sheep Show. Our champions receiving banners, so thank you to all those that helped put that together. As we make sure everybody gets switched around, we'll welcome in our market lambs next. As we kick kick off with class number 1. We've got a Roper half cross weighing 68 pounds. We will have the meat purchase contest following Pin 5. Meat purchase contest following Pin 5. That'll be drawing the championship drive of our market show. Dawson County 4-H is excited to host the first ever Dawson County Premium Auction tomorrow, July 18th. For the registration at 4 and the auction at 5. We invite everyone to come out and support our youth. Reminder, all livestock exhibitors' premium auction contracts must be placed in the drop box located by the red barn within 1 hour of completion of your final market show. We also invite all premium auction exhibitors and their families to attend a brief auction meeting Saturday at 10 or immediately following the big show in the Stevens Arena. We'll review the logistics of the sale, discuss what to expect, and answer any questions you may have. We look forward to a great first premium auction and appreciate everyone's participation. And we welcome in the start of our 2026 Market Sheep Show with our Roper half crop, Mr. Armstead Jackson, back number 409. This with weighing 68 pounds.
A single entry here to start off into our market division. Young man brings this one that's presumably just a little bit younger, just needs a little bit more time. I think from a skeletal build, this one's plenty good. I think as you continue to project him on down the road, he's just going to get better. Today, he's maybe one that's just a little bit lighter muscle. We just like to pull him apart and add a little to it. He's doing a nice job showing that weather. Congratulations.
And receiving a blue ribbon, first in class, 409, Jackson Armstead, that 68-pound limit. That'll roll us down to class number 2. These are half crosses, weighing 86 and 90 pounds respectively. And they include back number 457, Bodie Clem, and back number 457, Bodie Clem with a second entry.
Nice fair weather here as we get into this class. I think some that just need a little bit more time on feet. They're both awfully green. From a market standpoint today, I'm going to use the young man to my right to start the class. I think this one just has a little bit more natural shape when you get your hands on him, especially out of the top side of his shoulder and into his point. As I said, we just kind of like to bulk him up, give him a little bit more time on feet to get to a point to hang your carcass really long-sided. laying there to start the class. The one that's going to come next week just isn't quite as level in the way he ties his shoulder and neck into one there, and maybe just gets a little bit flatter in terms of some muscle shape. Just like to keep feeding them, but they're doing a nice job with them out here. Some good practical built type of weathers for now.
And your results out at first in blue is 457 Bodie Clem, and out at second in blue is back number 457 Bodie Clem. I'll take us now over into class number 3. As we get ready, with weathers weighing 99 to 107 pounds. A few exhibitors that are showing on both classes, so give them a second so they can swap animals. Big thank you to the moms, the dads, the grandmas, the grandpas, aunts, uncles, cousins, everybody back behind helping our youth make the best of today. We welcome in class number 3, including that number 457, Bodie Clem, his hand cross, 537, Katie Wolf, with her hand Grover cross, and 409, Jackson Armstead with his hand Grover cross, and weigh 99 to 107 pounds. It's class number 3.
Nice trio of lands out years into our market show. The young ladies kind of painted up weathers, going to step the cost for me, and it really comes down to when you get your hands on him. I think this one handles the freshest and the firmest. He's got the most amount of muscle shape over the top side of his loin there. Just a really good practical type of weather there. I think one that'll certainly hang a nice carcass for her. In second place, we've got one that's really big and voluptuous in terms of rib shape and dimension. I like that about it. He's maybe just a nickel softer when you get your hands on him over the top of the loin, but certainly one that's been an easy feeding, and young man's done a nice job of feeding him. The weather that's going to round out the class, really long side, good about his structure and the structural integrity and the way he's built. Just needs a little bit more time. He's a little flatter muscle. Just like to add a little bit of fat cover, getting closer to a market standpoint here with a nice toss of them. Let's give them a round of applause.
Your results out of class number 3 of our market lambs. Out in first in purple, 537, Katie Wolf. Second in purple, 409, Jackson Armstead. Third in blue will be Bodie Clem. I'll take us now to class number 4 as we get into our 100-pounders, weighing 113 to 116. Again, give everybody just a second. Don't forget, the 4-H Cafe has an all-new slushy machine. Go in and cool off on a slushy, and I believe ice cream as well. So there's some sweet treats when the heat hits this afternoon. And remember, there's still skips available. You can volunteer at the 4-H Cafe today. Welcome back in, class number 4. As back number 542, Pink Husky brings in her crossbred commercial, weighing 113. Back number 409, Jackson Armstead brings his Rover cross, weighing 160.
nice pair of weathers up here in this class. So just some differences in type of kind. We've got kind of a clubby type of limb out here. He's going to start the class. I like the look of this one. He just really just grabs your attention. He's fun to look at. He bounces up really well. He's really striking from a profile standpoint, and he is impressive from a market standpoint as well. You get your hands on him. He handles plenty fresh and plenty firm. I think he's big top, just a really nice weather to start the class. The young man's weather that comes next is really, really good and practical and functional, and I like that. I think this is one that you hang on the rail, certainly gives you a good carcass. He's good in terms of muscle shape and dimension. He's maybe just not quite as fancy and up-headed as that one that starts the class, but an awfully good one in his own right as well. So congratulations on the nice pair of weathers there.
And the results coming out of class number 4 on the market lambs. First in purple is 542, Paige Walahoski. Second in purple is 409, Jackson Armstead. I'll take us out to class number 5 as we get into our middle heavyweights, so 120 to 127. We welcome in 543, Megan Walahoski, her crossbred commercial. 536, Samuel Winter and his Dorper Cross. And 410, Augustus Barnes and his Dorper Cross. In the lambs weighing 120 to 127. Class number 5.
Market lambs as we start to get into some heavier weights, young ladies, whether they're along the fence is going to start the class. It does so pretty easily. I like the looks of this one a lot. I think he ties his neck really high into his shoulder. He's so elongated through that front 1/3. Gives you a really nice look. When you step in behind him and start the setting from a muscle standpoint, he certainly got it. Just a really nice name to start the class. From there, we're going to go with the young man's kind of black Ute next. I think she's one that's just a little bit fresher. I think she's a little bit more appropriate in terms of fat cover. When you get your hands on her, I like the way she's handling. She's maybe just not quite as stout and bold as that one that starts the class, but an awfully good practical ewe in her own right. The weather that runs up the class today, certainly one that's big bindled. He's got some muscle shape to him. He's maybe just a fuzz past 12 o'clock today. He's starting to get a little bit softer when you get your hands on him, but a nice class there. Congratulations to them.
And your results coming out of class number 5. First in purple is 543, Megan Walahoski. Second in purple is 536, Samuel Winter. Third in blue will be 410, Augustus Barnes. I'll take us out of class number 6 of our market lambs. This will be our final market lamb class before going into the grand drive. So all firsts and seconds be on standby for the grand drive. First and seconds on standby here in the grand drive immediately following class number 6. This includes back number 544, Grant Walahoski, 536, Samuel Winter. Grant with his crossbred commercial, Samuel with his Dorper Cross, weighing 132 to 140 pounds.
nice pair of them out here. We're going to leave them in the order they came in. The young man's weather there out to my right will be your winner of this class. Really, really nice weather out here. Gives you such a cool look. He's just kind of a man. He catches your attention. He's really big and robust over the top side. You get your hands on him. He's just pretty close to 12 o'clock right here today. He's doing an excellent job of getting this one shown as well. The weather that comes next is one that's really good and practical. Certainly one that's going to hang some pounds of meat on the rail. Maybe one that's just a little bit past the point of where he needs to be. I think he's starting to get a little bit soft when you get your hands on him, but he's done an excellent job of feeding this one. Looks like this one's just got good feed intake and production there. So congratulations, a nice pair of the weathers there.
Your results out of class number 6. First in purple is 544 Grant Wolahoski. Second in blue is 536 Samuel Winter. This will now take us into our championship drive of the Market Lambs. It has been made the decision, only purples and first and seconds will be coming back to stay consistent with how the week has ran. So we go to class number 3 to welcome back our firsts. That includes 537 Katie Wolf, and in second contention there, 409 Jackson Armstead. Katie with a 103-pound wither. Coming back in from class number 4 will then be 542 Paige Wolahoski. Crossbred commercial weighing 113 pounds. Coming back in from class number 5 will be 543 Megan Wolahoski. Crossbred commercial weighing 120 pounds. And coming back from class number 6 will be 544 Grant Wolahoski with a crossbred commercial weighing 132 pounds. Again, with the purples being considered on the championship drive, we have withers coming back in from class 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Our young lady that wins the third class there with the painted up one, certainly a good practical one, really functional about his structure. He gets out and moves really well. She's done an excellent job of feeding this one. He handles really nice. As you get him out here, obviously some breed characteristics differences. He's just a little bit plainer made, but I love the functionality and the practicality of this one. She's done an excellent job with him so far. The weather from class 4, one that's so long-sided, I like that. This one's about as smooth as you can make him. He just gives you such a nice look, and you get your hands on him. This one's really impressive. You maybe don't notice just how much shape and muscle he's got, so you get your hands on him. I like this one a lot. Again, long-sided, just gives you a nice look, really correcting the angle of his shoulder and into his hop and down to the ground. Nice one there. The weather that comes next from, I believe, the 5th class is one that, too, is really smooth made and really balances up really nice. As you compare him to the two on either side, he maybe just gets a little bit shorter back, but certainly one that's handling well. She's done an excellent job with this one as well. I like this one. The young man's weather that came out of that last class is one that's so tall fronted. He's got so much to him. He gives you such a cool look. He's the longest fronted one in the group. And for this weight, he's still one that's really neat at the base of his chest for. He's still handling nice. He's massive legs. Certainly one that just gives you such a cool look. I think there's some really good individuals out here. I'll go out and I'll show you the ones that I like, but congratulations to you guys on a really competitive market drive out here.
And your champion will come back in from class number 6. That's Brent Wallahosky. Your reserve champion will come back in from class number 4, Paige Wallahosky. Congratulations once again to all of our market labs as your champion comes back from class number 6. That is Grant Wallahosky's crossbred commercial weighing 132 pounds. And your reserve champion will be Paige Wallahosky coming back in from class number 4, crossbred commercial weighing 113 pounds. I'll take us now into our pin of 3. We're going to have our carcass contest. So pin of 3, then the carcass contest. So we've got the Antelope crew, they're up here next to the announcer stand, and then we've got two Sumner crews, Sumner livestock groups. So we've got Sumner 1, Sumner 2, and Antelope out in our pen of 3 today.
We've got 3 pens out here for our club pen of 3. They've all done a nice job. We've got some uniformity here. I just kind of talked with each of the groups. They're doing a great job representing their club. So congratulations. Let's give them all a round of applause.
Receiving purple will be Antelope Livestock, and Sumner number 2. Sumner number 1 will receive a blue ribbon in our pin of 3. Now we have the carcass data back on our 2026 Dawson County Market Lambs. We'll announce our champion and reserve champion market lambs on the carcass side. If both these individuals can come to the ring, they don't have to bring the lambs. Your champion carcass lamb is Jackson Armstead with tag ID lamb 79, weighing 116 pounds. He had 1/10 of an inch of back fat. Body wall thickness of 0.74. His loin eye area of 338. And his TRC rank of 49.48. So receiving purple and brand is Jackson Armstead. Jackson, come on out. And your reserve champion carcass lamb is Paige Wallahosky with tag ID 2627. Lamb weighed 113 pounds with 0.12 inches of back fat, a 0.744 body wall thickness, loin eye of 332, and a rank of 49.381. Congratulations, reserve champion Paige Wallahosky in the carcass contest. Receiving blue will be Gus Barnes, Samuel Winter's second entry, Megan Wallahosky and Grant. Receiving red will be Jackson Armstead's 2 entries, Katie Wolf and Bodie Clinton's 3 entries. For those receiving blue and red, you're welcome to come up to the announcer stand to get your ribbons. But Jackson and Paige, congratulations, you're champion and reserve on the market side. We'll take a 30-minute break and we'll come back in. It'll be getting ready for showmanship time on the goat side. Showmanship for the goats coming up in just 30 minutes. 30-minute warning to the sheep or to the goat showmanship.
We'll see who parent comes in. started with an Clover Kid Goat Showmanship today. Entering the ring first, we have Harper Linknight. Following her, we have Aspen Urban. And we have Ashton Vonderschmidt. Following her into the ring is Shea Clem. Following closely behind is Skip Wolf. Then we have Meredith Caraway. Next up is Jana Rhodes. Coming last up into the ring is Woodrow Barnes and Rito Reeker. All right, we got our Clover Kids here to kick off the Goat Show. We'll go around and quick interview with them. Okay. You've been here before. All right, so you're going to tell us your name, your goat's name, and let's see, what your favorite part about being at the fair is.
Shayla.
Oh, it's Wednesday. What's today's Friday? Okay. What's your favorite thing about the fair? Showing your sheep. What about for Wednesday? Okay, it's your first year, but you're doing great. All right, it's your turn. Parker, what's your goat's name?
Showing.
Showing Duchess. Great work. All right.
Aspen. Nancy. Alexis from Rico.
All right, show me the goat.
Baby Go. Sharon.
Okay. You're back.
My name is Deadpool.
What's this goat's name?
Martin.
Martin? That's a good name. What's your favorite thing to do there?
Okay.
Show a pig. Out of boy. Okay. What's your name?
Now this.
Meredith. What's your goat's name? Frankie. And what's your favorite thing to do with the fair, Meredith? Show. Perfect. Great job. You're back again as well.
Woodrow.
Eminem, candies, or like a singer. And might be having a while. Okay, what is your favorite thing for the fair?
Getting the ribbons.
Getting ribbons. Wink, wink at the ribbon lady. Okay, what's your name?
Jenna.
And what's your goat's name?
Ginger.
Ginger, that's a good name. What's your favorite thing about the fair? You can learn stuff? Look at you. Good job. Okay, what's your name? And what's your goat's name? Okay, what's your favorite thing to do? Show your goat. Awesome. Well, let's give the Clover Kids a big round of applause. We'll get your ribbons. All right. Good work, guys.
Well, congratulations to all of our Clover Kid goat showmen and women doing an outstanding job out there. Our Clover Kids included Harper Klinknight, Skip Wolf, Woodrow Barnes, Ashton Vonderschmidt, Shea Clem, Meredith Caraway, Jenna Rhodes, Rihanna Reefer, and Aspen Urban. Congratulations to all of our Clover Kid, Pee Wee, or Junior Showmen. An outstanding job. Kind of like the Lucky Cap show from yesterday, so I'd like to see that. Sorting our goat show today is done, and then Bailey Hendricks of Air, Nebraska. Bailey grew up showing 4-H and cattle and hogs, along with participating in showing cattle at state and national levels across the country. She has a passion for agriculture and is truly blessed to be able to give back to the industry and help shape her into who she is today. Bailey attended Nebraska College of Technical Agriculture, a member of the livestock judging team there. She placed in multiple national contests in the top 10. After graduating college, she returned to the family farm, raising corn, soybeans, along with registered Charolais cattle and a bull and female sale every year, along with a commercial cow herd. She's humbled and honored to be a part of and judge county livestock shows, work with great youth for the future of the industry. Bailey, thank you for coming and working with our youth here in Dawson County. As we close the reins of the Clover Kids, we open the ring back up and we welcome in the start of our 2026 Dawson County Fair Showmanship. As we start with our junior division. And the Junior 4-H Meat Goat Showmanship is presented by Patrick, etc. Thank you, Patrick, etc. for sponsoring the Junior 4-H Meat Goat Showmanship. To our beef exhibitors, attention to our beef exhibitors, we do have the program listed in the beef barn. You have until 11:30 to make corrections. Beef exhibitors, you have until 11:30 to make corrections. Beef exhibitors, you have until 11:30 to make corrections. The deals are posted in the beef barn. Shannon or Karen are the contacts to make those corrections. Shannon or Karen are the ones to make the contact with. Karen Vonderschmidt would really like to talk to you, but Shannon will talk to you if she has to. Let's welcome in the junior showman on the goat side. This includes bag number 503, Natalie Rhodes of 100th Meridian 4-H Club, 424, Lucille Cool of Tail Twisters, 408, Maddie Anderson of Tail Twisters, and 547, Chase Gannock of Sumner Livestock. This is your junior 4-H goat showmanship.
set of juniors here in this showmanship division for them. They're doing a nice job, as we said, throughout other species. I'll talk to each one. Just again, paying attention to details, making sure we're getting that animal set up properly and keeping your animal between the judge and yourself, but they're all doing a nice job. We'll give them a round of applause and I'll get you a champion in reserve.
And the results at your junior goat showmanship include first in purple, 424, Lucille Cool. Second in purple will be 503, Natalie Rhodes. Third in purple will be 408, Maddie Anderson. Fourth in blue will be 547, Chase Jannux. Congratulations to all of our junior goat showmen and women. I'll take us immediately down to our intermediate showmanship as we get ready.
All right, coming into the ring for our intermediate showman, we have 537, Katie Wolf, with 487, Amy Nichols, 423, Elsie Cool, 501, Cameron Rose, 488, Colin Nichols, 455, Gracie Plinknight, 406, Katie Anderson, and rounding out our intermediate showman, we have 546, Blake Jasnock. We wanted to thank Clay Catholic Marshall Land Brokers today for sponsoring a slice of pie for all of our sheep and goat showmen. Thanks, Clay Patton.
big group out here in the intermediate showmanship contest. They're pulled in really no apparent order. I just want to take time to talk with each one. They're all doing a nice job, and again, looking for details and just how well they're getting those animals set, and where they're placing legs, and paying attention to themselves and everything around them. They're all doing a great job. Let's go ahead and give them a round of applause, and I'll pick each champion in reserve.
I did mark that.
And the results of your intermediate showmanship include your champion showman, purple 501, Cameron Rose of Cozad, the 100th Meridian Club. Reserve champion in purple is 406, Katie Anderson of Gothenburg Tail Twisters. And coming out third in purple, before 55, Gracie Knight of Independent 4-H. Then receiving blue in classes 537, Katie Wolf, 487, Katie Nichols, 423, Elsie Cool, 488, Colin Nichols, and 546, Blake Jasna. I'll take us over to our seniors. I should say your intermediates were presented by Lexington Feeder Services. Say your Lexington Feeder Services for their support. We'll now head over into your senior elite coach showmanship. It's sponsored by Clay Patton Auctioneer, Marshall Land Brokers. And we head into 484, Abby Negley of Tail Twisters. 485, Aaliyah Negley of Tail Twisters. 486, Carson Nichols of Sumner Livestock. 445, Addison Howder of 100th Meridian. 502, Matthew Rhodes of 100th Meridian. 450, Healy Jensen of Tail Twisters. This is your senior goat showmanship on the meat side. We'll then go into our breeding goat show right after this.
really competitive group here into the senior showman contest. Again, talked to each one. They're all doing a nice job. Just some attention to detail as far as getting those animals set, knowing where to place the legs to make their project look their best. Like I said, they're all doing a really nice job. Give them a round of applause. I'll go out and I'll shake the hand of your champion in reserve.
And your senior champion is going to be purple 502 Matthew Rhodes of the 100th Meridian Club. Your reserve champion 485 receiving purple Leah Negley of the Gothenburg Tail Twisters. Also receiving purple is 484 Abby Negley. And 445 Addison Howder receiving blues in class 486 Carson Nichols and 450 Haley Jensen. Congratulations to our senior Migo Showman. That takes us now over into class number 1 of the breeding meat goats. We'll start on the doe side with our June 2026 born females. Single entry class of 424, Lucille Cool.
Stay back.
All right, congrats to all of our goat showmen. We are going to move into our first class of leading goat breeding meat does. These will be doe kids born September 1st, 2025 to June 1st, 2026. In our first class, we have exhibitor 424, Lucille Poole.
A single entry here to start into the breeding doe division. The young lady brings us a nice kid out here. She gives you a really nice look. She's really refined about her head and her neck. Plenty of body and volume. We'll see her back out here in a while.
And your results out of class number 1, your June 2026 born noblings. That includes 424 Lucille Cool, first and purple. Let's head now over into class number 2. Those born in March 2026. Free entry class. They include back number 406, Katie Anderson, 408, Maddie Anderson, and 485, Leah Negley. That's Abby Negley, not Leah Negley. And these all born March 20th, March 27th, 2026, born Dozers.
Carter, do you want to go see the leg up for her? She probably will. No, yeah,
A nice class of breeding does here. Really nice trio of the young ladies. Black-headed does going to start the class. I think this one just does so in terms of volume. She's a little more capacious through the center third of her body. She's got a little more upper rib shape. She gives you a nice look. I like her about her head and her neck. I think she blends everything together well. You could maybe make her a little bit stouter, but sure enough, a nice doe to start the class off with. And ladies doe that comes next is really similar in type and kind to the one that wins the class. Maybe just gets a little bit flatter in terms of some rib shape. I like this one's structure. I think she gets out and goes well. Gives you a nice enough look from the side, a nice one there as well. I like the look of this little one here. I think she blends everything together in a really smooth package. And this one probably is one of the stouter featured ones of the class. For me today, if you judge them all on the same age, we just like a little bit more weight per day of age, a little bit more performance and growth to her, but a really nice class of the does there.
Your first in purple in class number 2 is 408, Maddie Anderson. Second in purple is 406, Katie Anderson. Third in blue is Abby Negley. I'll take us to class number 3 of our doe kids. Those born early March 3rd to March 10th, 2026. Includes a 2-entry class. And this includes 445, Addison Howard, and 423, LC Cool.
skirt goes out here. The young lady along the fence is going to win the class. I think this one's just a little bit more elevated at the point of her shoulder. She gives you a nice look from the side. She balances up really well. She's really smooth. You could make her a little bit sadder featured, but I think a doe that's really nice there to start the class off with. The one that's going to be second gives you a nice look as well. I just like to make her just a little bit bigger, get her up closer to size to the one that wins the class. She does have a lot of rib shape and volume to her, just kind of like to widen her up out of either end, but a nice class of does there. Congratulations to them.
And your results at class number 3 of the early March 2026 Born Doe Kids. First in purple is 423 LC Cool. Second in blue is 445 Addison Howard. So now takes over to class number 4, late January, early February born kids. Don't forget, we've got the inaugural Dawson County Fair Premium auction coming up tomorrow. Bid registration at 4, auction at 5. Youth, remember, you have to turn in your premiums within 1 hour of your final market show, so that way you get your contract in, so you can get the catalog built. So make sure you stop out there tomorrow. 4-H Buffet has slushies, subs, ice cream, and more, and cool down. When you head over there, remember, they're looking for more volunteers. Coming up this evening is the rodeo back over on the back side. You get free barbecue with the purchase of a rodeo ticket, so go out and enjoy that. And let's welcome in class number 4 of our breeding codes. These are late January, early February born. They include back number 455, Tracy Clayton, with 2 entries, 406, Katie Anderson, and 408, Maddie Anderson.
a really nice class of those, and I think some differences just in type and kind, I guess. I think all four of them are really good in their own right. I'm going to go ahead and start with the young lady still out here. I think this one's just so neat in terms of how much dimension she's got. She's really wide and pulled apart in terms of her skeleton. She's got so much mass and muscle, and yet she's still really fine and feminine about her head and her neck, the way she blends everything together. She could maybe be just a little bit longer spine, but that's an awfully neat one to start the class off with. The young lady still that's going to come next, I love this one just in terms of how tall fronted she is. She does have the length of side. She's maybe a little bit flatter muscled. Just like to stout her up just a little bit, but I really love the design of that one. I think she's really smooth, blends everything together really nicely. The black doe that's going to be next is one that does have a lot of power. I love this one in terms of her foot and bone work. She's good at the ground. She gets out and moves really well. For me, she maybe just gets a little bit plainer made. She's a little bit heavier chested, maybe doesn't square out of her hip quite as well as those two right ahead of her, but an awfully good doe there as well. The dapple doe that rounds out the class is maybe one that's a little deceiving. From the side, it looks like she's pretty flat, but you start to study this one, and she does have some shape, and I like that about her. Today, she kind of just gets outpowered in this particular class. Love the shoulder angle to her. She's good about her head and her neck. Just kind of like to level her out in her top just a little bit. Maybe just give her a shot more width when you step right in behind her in comparison to those three ahead of her. But a nice go in her own right as well. So a nice class of goats there. Let's give them a round of applause.
And your results coming back out of class number 4 for those late January, early February born doilies. First in purple will be 455, Grace Knight with her first entry. Second in purple will be 455, Grace Knight with her second entry. Third will be purple, 408, Maddie Anderson. Fourth in purple will be 406, Katie Anderson. I'll take us now over into class number 5. These are late December, early January 2025, 2026 born doe kids. 7-entry class. Immediately following this, we will go into the champion doe kid selection, and then we'll go into our aged doe. So again, first and seconds be on standby as we move immediately into our champion doe kids. I should say first and second purples be on standby, and we'll move immediately into your champion doe kid selection following class number 5. Let's welcome in class number 5. They include back number 547, Chase Jasnuck, 546, Blake Jasnuck, 502, Matthew Rhodes, 501, Cameron Rhodes, 484, Abby Negley, 503, Natalie Rhodes, and 455, Gracie Knight. These does again born late December to early January 2025 and 2026.
deep set of does out here. The young lady's kind of black-headed doe along the fence, wins the class, and she does so pretty easily for me. I think she's one that's really good in terms of an outline. She's tall fronted, she's really long and extended up through that front 1/3. She's got tons of body and volume. You step in behind this one, and she definitely doesn't disappoint you. She's just got a lot of mass and does it all in a really neat package. So a nice place to start the class off with. I think it gets a little bit closer between these next two. I opted to use the lady's kind of painted up doe here. I think she's one that's just a little bit stouter. She's maybe a little bit more level out of her hip. Maybe just has a touch more performance there. I'd like to see both of them just a little bigger, but I think two really good ones there. Young ladies is a nice doe as well. The young man's kind of brown doe here that comes next is one that does have some width. I like her in terms of her foot and leg. I think she's one that's good structured. Again, maybe just gets a little bit shorter side and wants to round out her hip a little bit, but I like the natural muscle shape in that one. Young lady's doe that comes next is one that is tall fronted. She does have that added length and extension to her. For me, I think she's one that just gets a little bit more flat in her muscle shape. I'd like to just widen her up out of either end in order to compete with those three ahead of her, but young lady's done a nice job with her. The doe that's going to be next is one that gives you a nice look from the side. I think she's got a ton of muscle shape as you study her out of her hind quarter there. She's certainly one that I like at the base of her chest for. For me, she maybe gets a little bit straight in the angle of her hock and down to the ground. I'd like to just give her a little bit of flexibility off of that rear end and just let her take a little bit longer, smooth stride as she gets out and goes. But a nice doe there as well. The dapple doe that comes next, really long-sided. I appreciate that about her. She's really feminine about her head and her neck. To me, today she just gets a little bit flatter. Maybe just doesn't have as much to her to compete with those ahead of her, but he's done a nice job with her. And the doe that rounds out the class, certainly one that's really long and extended up through that front 1/3. I appreciate that. Skeletally, she's built really, really well. She gets out and moves nice. She's just a little bit flatter. Maybe like to give her a shot more rib shape and a shot more muscle, but a really nice class for the does. Congratulations to them.
And your results coming out of class number 5. First in purple will be 455, Gracie Klingnight. Second in purple will be 501, Cameron Rhodes. Third in purple, 502, Matthew Rhodes. Fourth in purple, 484, Abby Negley. Fifth in blue, 503, Natalie Rhodes. Sixth in blue, 546, Blake Janice. Seventh in blue, 547, Chase Jackson. I'll take us down into our Doe Kid Champion Drive. So we'll welcome back in all of our first and second purples. And first in for champion, and then the second place in that class will be pulled forward for reserve selection. And let's look again our champion Doe Kid Drive. Coming back in from class number 1, 424, Lucille Cool with that June born. Coming back in from class number 2, 408, Addie Anderson with the March 26 born. Coming back in from class number 3, 423, Elsie Cool with her early March born. Coming back in from class number 4, 455, Gracie Klingnight with her February born. Coming back in from class number 5, 455, Gracie Klingnight with her December 25 born. This is your champion Doe Kid Drive. We'll then move into our H does with class number 7 following this.
To get our class winners out here, we've got a nice lineup of the does. The young ladies kind of painted up one that wins that first class, and the kid division certainly one that gives you a really nice look. I think she's got a lot of potential on down the road. She's really neat about her head and her neck and the way she ties into her shoulders. She's got enough muscle shape and dimension. Obviously one of the smaller ones out here, but one that's really neat in her design. The black-headed doe from the next class is one that's really long-bodied. She's smooth-made. She's refined about her head and her neck. I appreciate all of those things about her. Maybe as you get her out here, she gets a little bit flatter muscled. She's maybe just not quite as widely constructed and pulled apart as some of the others, but a really nice doe in her own right as well. The one behind her, kind of similar in terms of type and kind, long-sided. She's good structured. She gets out and goes plenty well. She's just a little bit flatter in her muscle shape in comparison to some of the others, but I like that doe as well. The kind of brown doe that comes next is one that's really neat just in terms of how much muscle shape and ribs she's got in her. She's really big-footed. She's good in the angle of her hop, the way she gets out and utilizes the legs as you send her into motion. I like the look of this one. She can maybe get a little bit short-sided if you want to critique her, but that's an awfully good one as well. The black-headed doe that wins that last class combines a lot of neat features. I think she's really tall-fronted, she's really long-sided, and she's still really refined about her head and her neck in comparison to how much width and dimension she has. I like the boldness in the center portion of her rib cage as well. A really nice lineup of does. I'll go out and I can pick you a champion. If there's a second in that class that wants to come in, they sure can, and then we'll get you a reserve. But let's put our hands together for a great division of the breeding does.
And your champion breeding doe comes back in from class number 5. That's 455 Gracie Klinknight with her December 2025 born doeling as your champion. So coming back in for reserve contention will be 501 Cameron Rhodes with her January 2nd, 2026 born doeling.
The doe that comes in that was second in that class, as we talked, I like the levelness of this one. I think she's got plenty of power. For me, in this particular age group, she's maybe one that could have a little bit more frame, a little bit more performance, but a nice one as well. I'll go out and I'll show you which one I like for reserve.
And your reserve champion will come back out of class number 4. That is 455 Gracie Klinknight with her February 26th born. So your champion, doe kid, again, for Class 5, 455 Gracie Klinknight, the December born, your reserve champion, 455 Gracie Klinknight, and her February born. Congratulations to those in the doe kid drive. I'll roll the page now to class number 7 of our age does. These girls all born in March 2025. We'll have 3 classes here in a championship drive, and then go to our Supreme Breeding Female drive. Let's welcome into the ring, swing the gate as we'll keep the show moving. David Bailey Hendricks, our judge today, coming to us from Air, Nebraska. We got the Sundown stage brought to you by TL Construction, and then the Silver Fox stage with all sorts of live music to listen to throughout the Dawson County Fair. Check those out. Make sure you're following Dawson County Fair on Facebook. Also have the Dawson County Fair website. After welcoming class number 7, they include 408 Patty Anderson, 486 Carson Nichols, 487 Keely Nichols, 537 Katie Wolf, and 488 Colin Nichols. These those again born March 2025.
A nice class as we get into some older does out here. The young lady's kind of dappled up one's going to win the class. She's just got so much to her. She's big ribbed. She's certainly stout made. She still gives you a nice look from the side. You could say she's maybe a little extra fleshy today. She does have one extra teeth. But I think this one's hard to get around just in terms of how much body and mass she's got. A nice place to start the class. The young man's doe that's going to come next is one that I like a lot, just in terms of functionality. I think she's really practical in her build. She gives you a good enough look from the side. She's maybe a little bit more plain about the base of her chest, or maybe rolls out of her hip a little bit as you compare to that one that wins the class, but this is an awfully nice one in her own right as well. The doe that comes next, I like this one just in terms of the height at her shoulder. I think she's one that just gets a little bit shorter sided as you compare to that doe that stands right ahead of her. I like the mass and the volume she's got. Just like to get a little bit of extra length into her. Bigger, utilize those rear two legs just a little bit better, but a nice go. The one that's going to come next is the one that's more in her working clothes. I appreciate that about her. I think she's one that certainly she is what you see is what you get here. She's long-sided. She's good pattern. I like the way she gets out and moves. Just like to give her a shot more dimension, a little bit more added muscle. And the one that rounds out the class, I think, is one that does have some extra body and capacity there. She's soft made. Just like to give her a little bit added width and dimension. She kind of wants to roll out of her hip. Maybe doesn't balance up quite as well as some of the others that stand ahead of her in this class with a nice class that it does. Let's give them a round of applause.
And your results coming out of class number 7. Your age does for March 2025. First in purple, 408, Maddie Anderson. Second in purple, 486, Carson Nichols. Third in purple, 487, Keely Nichols. Fourth in blue, 537, Katie Wolf. Fifth in blue, 4888, Colin Nichols. I'll take us now over to class number 8. These are February to early March 2025 born does. They include 450, Haley Jensen with 2 entries, and 406, Katie Anderson.
Another nice class of the does here. The young lady along the fence wins this class. I like this one a lot just in terms of how wide she is. She's so pulled apart in the base of her chest where she's got plenty of weight and dimension as you study her over the top side of her skeleton there. I would like to freshen her up. I think she's kind of pushing some upper limits of some freshness today, but a nice place to start the class off with. The white doe that comes next is one that's just really good in terms of practicality and functionality. She gets out and moves relatively well. She's tall fronted. She's good in her angles. She could be just a little bit stouter, but I think one that's good and practical built. The goat that runs out the class is one I just like to level her out of her hip just a little bit. I think she just gets a little bit shorter spine than the one up ahead of her, but one that's awfully good as well. So congratulations, nice class of the does.
And the results coming out of class number 7. Your first in purple is 406, Katie Anderson. Your second in purple is 450, Haley Jensen with her Savannah Cross. And third in blue is 450, Haley Jensen with her Board Cross. I'll take us now over to let's take us out for class number 9. These are December 2024 to January 2025 born does. This is your aged doe class. We'll move into our aged does or yearling doe championship drive following this, and then we'll move into our supreme drive following that. This includes back number 484, Abby Nagley, 501, Cameron Rhodes, 502, Matthew Rhodes, and 503, Natalie Rhodes.
of the does out here. Maybe some give and take between all of them, but ultimately I went with the kind of white doe there along the fence. I think she's one that's just got a little bit more rib to her. She's really bold in the upper portion of her rib cage. I appreciate that about her. She's not the greenest one out here. She gets a little extra fleshy, but one that I think does a lot of things really good, and I like the structural integrity of this one. The kind of brown bell that's going to come next is one that gives you a really nice look. She's good in terms of just the ring style type of presence to her. She's got some width and dimension. I like the natural muscle shape this one possesses. For me, she maybe gets a little bit straight off of either end. I'd like to give her just a shot more angle to her shoulder, just give her a little bit more angle to her hop and get her to flex out of those rear two just a little bit better, but a nice one there as well. The colored up one that comes next is one that's really long-sided. I really like that about her. I think she's really smooth in her pattern. She's really smooth in her muscle shape. With that, she maybe gives up a little bit as you step right in behind her. She's maybe carrying a little extra condition, but I think one that's still really good in her own right as well. The goat that's been around out the class, she kind of gets outpowered in this particular class. She's youthful and feminine about her head and her neck. She's good in her angles. She gets out and moves correctly. Maybe just one that gets a little overpowered. She gets a little bit flatter in her muscle shape, gives up a little bit of center body dimension, but a nice class of the breeding goes there.
And the results coming out of class number 9, first in purple, 501 Cameron Rhodes, second in purple, 502 Matthew Rhodes, third in purple, 503 Natalie Rhodes, fourth in blue, 484 Abby Negley. This will take us down to your age or yearling doe championship drive. Coming back in for class number 7 is 408 Maddie Anderson with her April 2025 born. Coming back out of class number 8 first is 406 Katie Anderson with her February 25 born. And coming back in for class number 9 is 501 Cameron Rhodes with her December 2024 born. As soon as we pick a champion yearling doe, we'll then move into your Supreme drive. We'll bring back the doe kid and the yearling does. Pick a Supreme female here on the breeding goat side.
And I sign up at the age does out here. We've got some really nice ones out here that kind of hang it up. Dapple, the one that wins that first class, is one that I like a lot just in terms of how much foot and bone she has. She's really massive. She's widely constructed. She's really wide. When you study her at the base of her skeleton and over the top side as well. As we said in class, I think both these first two that came out could be a little bit green, a little bit pulled back in their condition. I think they're a little excessive there, but certainly some that are just still really good in terms of quality. The next, though, from that next class is one that gives you a nice look. I like the levelness of her. She's maybe not just quite as wide when you step right in behind her. Instead, you're from a rear view as the one from that class before, but an awfully nice pattern, one that gives you a cool look from the side. The white doe from that last class is really long-sided. I appreciate that about her. She's long neck. She's certainly one that has some center body capacity. She maybe gets a little bit plainer made about her head and neck in comparison to the two that stand up ahead of her, but a nice trio of the class winners out here. I'll go out and I'll show you the one that I like and we'll get a reserve. But congratulations. Let's give these zippers a round of applause.
And your champion, Age Joe, comes back in from class number 7. That's Maddie Anderson with her April 2025 born. Bringing back into reserve contention, then will be 46 Carson Nichols with March 25 born. And your reserve champion will come back in from class number 8, 406, Katie Anderson, with the February born. So again, your champion is from class 7, Maddie Anderson, 408. The reserve champion is from class 8, 406, Katie Anderson. That'll take us down into our Supreme Breeding Female Drive on the meat goat side. Coming back in from the Doe Kids is your champion. At 455, Gracie Claybank with her December 2025 born doubling. And coming out from the earlier age does will be 408 Maddie Anderson with her April 2025 born doe.
Four really nice does out here in contention for your champion in reserve. The black-headed doe that wins the first division is one that I like quite a lot. I think she just combines a lot of good. I think she's really good about her structure. She paints you a really nice picture from this side. She's maybe not the widest one out here, but I think she's got enough muscle. I like the levelness that she has. Again, her structural integrity, the way she's built, I really appreciate that about her. The reserve from that respective division is one that does have a lot of width and dimension. She's nice about her head and her neck. As we talked to her, she's maybe one you could nitpick and say she's a little short-sighted, but one that still features a lot of really neat aspects as well. The dappled doe out here is certainly one that's big and robust. She's got a lot of capacity to her. She gives you a nice look. She's good in terms of just how big boned she is. For me, as we talked, I think both of them are maybe carrying a little extra condition. I'd like to trim them up just a little bit. In the reserve, there is one that also has a lot of width and dimension to her. If you're going to critique her, she's maybe a little bit straight out of the angle of her hop. But four really, really good goats. I'll go out and I'll show you the two that I like. Let's put our hands together for these exhibitors.
And your Supreme Champion is your Doe Kid, the December born 455 Gracie Clean is your Supreme Champion female. And she follows it up with her Doe Kid mate. Coming back in at 455 Gracie Clean with her February 26th born Doe Kid. So that will be your Supreme Reserve Champion. Let's put our hands together once again for our breeding meat goat division here at the Dawson County Fair. And I'll roll us right over into our market meat goats. We'll start off with our lightweight division in class number 1.
single entry here to start off into our market division. The young lady brings us a nice goat here. These really good patterns, certainly one that's got some growing to do, but I think she's on the right track. Just like to add a little bit to it, but certainly she's doing a nice job. Let's go ahead and give her a round of applause.
And in class number 1, your lightweight, that's 537, Katie Wolf for the first in blue, market goat, weighing 40 pounds. I'll take us down to class number 2. And class number 2 is bag number 486, Carson Nichols. Goat weighs 55 pounds.
Another nice single entry class here. Young man brings us a nice doe. I like the pattern of her. I think she's really good in her angle. She gives you a nice look from the side. From a meat goat standpoint, I'd like to just give her a shot more width and dimension. Obviously, a little bit more time on feet, but I think she's on the right track to get there. He's done a nice job with her.
And your results out of class number 2, 486, Carson Nichols, first in blue. That'll take us to class number 3, our final lightweight division class. This includes 537, Katie Wolf, and 502, Matthew Rhodes. These brothers weigh 65 to 66 pounds.
A nice class here as we get into the last class of the lightweights. I'm going to go ahead and use the young man's go to start the class. You get your hands on this one. She's really impressive in terms of how much shape she's got into her loin. She's handling well. So a little couple more weeks on feed. She's sure enough going to make a nice carcass for him. Again, a really good pattern one. I like her a lot. She'll be your champion of this division as well. The young lady's wether that comes next is one that's tall fronted. He's really long fronted, get nice there. I like him in the angle of his shoulder, the way he gets out and moves skeletally. This one's built really well. I'd like him just to have a shot more muscle, but she's doing a nice job with him. He's certainly on the right track as well.
Results out of class number 3, first in purple in class, 502, Matthew Rhodes. I will also make him your lightweight division champion. And second in blue in class, 537, Katie Wolf. That'll take us down to our middleweight division. These goats weigh 70 to 82 pounds. And we roll right into class number 4. This includes back number 450, Haley Jensen. Back number 487, Keely Nichols. 488, Colin Nichols, and 445, Addison Howard. These goats weigh 70 to 74 pounds. And this is the first class middleweight division, 70 to 74 pounds.
nice class to start into the middleweight division. The young ladies, Weather out here is going to win the class. I think this one just has the most amount of muscle you get your hands on. He's handling the best over the top side of his loin. He's long-sided and good structure. Just a nice place to start off the class with. It gets a little bit closer between 2 and 3 for me. I opted to go with the Weather. I think he's just a little bit longer-sided. He's got just a little bit more loin to him. Sure enough, one that's elevated up front. When you study him in terms of a forearm, I think this one maybe has just a little bit more natural muscle shape, but a nice Weather there. The doe that comes next, I like her in terms of her angles. I think she's good in terms of the way she ties everything together. Maybe one that just gets a little bit flatter made, but one that, as we get a few more pounds on her, just keep getting better. Young lady's done a nice job. The doe that runs out the class, certainly one that's good in her own right. She's good built, gets out and moves relatively well. She ties everything together nicely. Just gets a little bit flat muscle. You step behind her and steadier from that aspect. I like to just make her a little wider to compete with those up ahead of her, but a nice class with the market goes center.
And now we'll welcome into class number 4 of the medium weights. Excuse me, class number 5 of the medium weights. As you welcome in class number 5, this includes 501 Cameron Rhodes, 445 Addison Outer, 501 Cameron Rhodes second entry, and 503 Natalie Rhodes. These goats weigh 77 to 82 pounds, weighing 77 to 82 pounds.
A nice class of the goats up here. The young ladies, Weather along the fence, is going to win the class. It really does so. I think this class sorts pretty well just from a handling standpoint. This one's good in terms of when you get your hands on him. I think he comes out of the top side of his shoulder with the most amount of shape. He's fresh, he's firm, and he gives you a nice look from the side. Just a nice place to start the class off with. Young ladies, Weather that's giving her a little bit of a hard time here. I like this one just in terms of a width standpoint. I think it shows a lot of natural shape and dimension. maybe just not quite as firm as that one that stands right up ahead of it, but a nice one there as well. The unmixed weather that comes next is one that I like quite a lot, just in terms of how high and how elevated he is out of the top side of his shoulder. For me, he's one that maybe just gets a little bit flatter right out of the top of his shoulder as he comes into his loin, but certainly one that's good in terms of just how much softness and rib shape he's got as well. And the brown goat that's going to round out the class is one that's really good in his own right. I think one that you could describe as just a little bit more plain, just gets a little bit flatter as you step right in behind and study him from a muscle standpoint, but a really nice class of the market goods there. Congratulations. Let's give them a round of applause.
And your results coming out of class number 5, your second class of middleweights. First in purple, 503, Natalie Rhodes. Second in purple, 501, Cameron Rhodes. Third in purple, 501, Cameron Rhodes, second entry. Fourth in blue, 445, Addison Howard. That'll move us into the champion selection for our middleweights. So we need 503, Natalie Rhodes coming back from class 5, and 445, Addison Howard coming back in from class 4 to pick a middleweight champion. As we get our middleweight champions put together, I just checked Facebook birthdays. It appears we have one in the ring with us today. Mr. Paul Peterson. And under age, it just put light the cake on fire to get the same effect for the candles. Happy birthday, Paul Peterson. Barbecue and rodeo. Over on the other side, barbecue starting at 6, rodeo performance at 8. All sorts of great things happening on a Saturday. Dawson County Fair and Elite Showmanship starts at 3.
A nice pair of goats here as we get to the heavyweight division. I'm going to go ahead and leave them in the order they came in with the predominantly white body. Want to start the class. I think he's just got a little bit more muscle shape when you get your hands on him. I think this one just handles a little bit firmer with a little bit more loin shape, but a nice goat to start the class off with. The black goat that's going to come next is really long-sided. I like that about him. I think he's really smooth made. He's good structure. Just gets a little bit flatter right there at the loin in comparison to the one ahead one, but a nice pair of them there.
And your first in purple out of class number 8, 484, Abby Negley. Second in purple, 485, Aaliyah Negley. That'll take us to our last class of the day before we move into our championship drives. This is class number 9. Single entry with Matthew Rhodes and a 100-pound goat. We'll move immediately into the heavyweight champion drive, and then we'll move into the Supreme Market Goat drive. Then Dairy Goat Showman beginning ready. You're immediately following the Supreme Drive. Dairy Goat Showman immediately following the Supreme Market Goat Drive.
A single entries, we get into some of the bigger goats. The young man brings us a really nice one. I think one that's really impressive when you get your hands on him. He handles plenty fresh and plenty firm. He's got a lot of shape over his loin there. It still gives you a pretty good look from the side, so we'll see him back out here after a little bit.
And your results there at class 9, first in purple, 502 Matthew Rhodes. This will now bring 484 Abby Negley back against 502 Matthew Rhodes for your champion heavyweight market goat.
Here's a circle around the young ladies from that first class. Again, one that just had a little bit more shape in that particular class. I like him quite a lot. I think he's a nice, just a good practical type built goat. He's maybe just not quite as attractive and doesn't have quite as much pizzazz as the one behind him from a show ring standpoint, but certainly a nice one there. The goat that wins the single entry class over there, certainly. One that's really packed full of power. I like that about him. This one's really impressive when you get your hands on him. You maybe don't understand just how much width he's got to him until then, but congratulations on the heavyweights. I'll go out and make the selection.
Your champion heavyweights, 502 Matthew Rhodes. Your reserve champion is 484 Abby Negley. Now let's go into our Supreme Drive. This will be the champions from all the weight divisions on our market side. We'll go to the Dairy Goat Showmanship, the Dairy Goat Show. And then I think we'll break for lunch. And then we're going to come back with Beef Showmanship at 4 p.m. Shannon Peterson tells me. your Supreme Drive, we welcome back in the lightweight division. That's 502 Matthew Rhodes, weighing 66 pounds. From the middleweight divisions, 503 Natalie Rhodes, weighing 82 pounds. And your heavyweight division, 502 Matthew Rhodes, with 100 pounds.
And I sign up with the market goes here and have a good show with them. The Joe that wins that first division one is really good. I think she's really good in her angles. She gets out and moves really well. She's long-sided. As you compare it to the two others behind her, she could use a little bit more width and dimension to her. I think she gets a little bit flat in her muscle shape, but she's a nice go. The middleweight goat out here, I think. The middleweight one out here, I think he's one that just kind of combines a lot of neat features. If you want to talk one that's maybe got a little bit more of a show ring type of essence and look, I'd say he's the one out here. He's a little bit more elevated the way he ties his neck into his shoulders, a little bit more level out of his hip. And when you get your hands on this one, I like this one quite a lot. I think he's handling really fresh and really firm. Obviously, he's not the biggest one out here, but I think in terms of quality, he's certainly really good. The heavyweight goat out here is one that is impressive just in terms of how much power he's packed into him. He maybe gets a little bit plainer made about the way he ties his neck into his shoulder, but certainly one that's big-footed and rugged made, and I like that about him as well. I think there's a couple of them that pair up awfully nice out here. I'll go out and I'll show you the two that I like, but congratulations. Let's give our market goat exhibitors a round of applause.
And the results on our Supreme Drive. Your Supreme Champion Market Goats is your middleweight champion, 503 Natalie Rhodes, weighing 82 pounds. Your Reserve Supreme, 502 Matthew Rhodes, weighing 100 pounds. Congratulations to the Rhodes family. Congratulations to all of our exhibitors on the Market Goat side. We're going to go into our pin of 3 Market Goats, pin of 3 Market Goats now, and then we'll move into the Dairy Goat Showmanship. So pin of 3 Market Goats, then Dairy Goat Showmanship. For the pin of 3, we have the Sumner Livestock Club and the 100th Meridian Club.
This is the life.
How do you get up there?
Trail. This door. Can you see me?
Oh my god. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's nice up here. Nice and dusty.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
And results on the event of 3, both the Sumner Livestock
I
Club,
did,
100
and now I
party,
just
will
got
receive
to see
purples for their event of 3. Let's put our hands together for
Like, I
all of our
was,
market
and I
meat
was
gifts
like-
here today.
Well, I just wanted to see where you're at.
Now it's
Yeah,
time to
I
bring
want to talk
in
to Alex, but there's
the
no
dairy
room up here
divisions.
for more
We
than
start with Dairy Goat
It's here
Showmanship
somewhere, so
and intermediate class.
he was gonna
Free
come over.
entries.
It's
I'll
a
just-
one-person job.
I'll just tell him that next week I'll show him how to set it up because I have my chair up here, but that's really all the room that there is.
Wow, that is really small.
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
One more week. We'll be done to do it again.
All right. See ya.
And in our intermediate division on the Dairy Goat side, we kick off here at 487 Keely Nichols and Sumner Livestock, 537 Katie Wolf of Antelope Livestock, and 488 Colin Nichols of Sumner Livestock. And your intermediate goat showmanship brought to you by Laird Feed. Thank you, Laird Feed. If any of the Laird Feed crew is nearby, you're welcome to present the trophy at the show. Thank you, Laird Feed, your intermediate dairy goat showmanship trophy sponsor.
You're not gonna like. When I get back to the station or next week, can I show you how to do it?
Yeah.
There's no room up here. All right.
Shorter numbers here to the showmanship for the Dairy Goats, but all three of these kids are doing a really nice job. I'll go out and I'll pick a champion reserve, but let's give them a big round of applause.
Katie Wolf is going to be your purple and champion intermediate dairy goat showman. Your reserve champion and purple will be Colin Nichols, and third in class in purple will be Keely Nichols. Congratulations there. Now we'll have our senior dairy goat showman brought to you by the Milk House. Thank you to the Milk House for their continuing support on the senior goat showman side, on the senior dairy goat showman side. Single entry here. Then we'll move into the dairy goat show. And we welcome in Carson Nichols of Sumner Livestock for our senior dairy goat showmanship.
A single entry in our senior showmanship for the dairy goats, a decision I think everyone can agree upon. He will be your champion and receiving a purple ribbon. Let's give him a round of applause.
And your champion senior showman is 486, Carson Nichols. The trophy again presented by the Milk House. They have to take this brief pause to make sure all of our kids are set back and ready. If they have to take pictures with anything, and we'll move back in with the dairy goat division. As we'll start here with our March 2026 born doelings. Looks like single entry class there. And then we'll have class number 2 of our aged milking does. Big champion, and that's the goat show.
Single entries, we start into the dairy division. Young lady brings us a nice goat. I think she's one that gives you a nice look from the side. She's really angular about her skeleton. Gets out and moves well. She's got good sized teeth and good placement. I think one that'll have a nice header on down the road. Congratulations. Let's give her a round of applause.
And first in class number 1 is 537, Katie Wolf with her La Mancha Board Cross. That is a March 26th born doeling. Now we'll welcome in our aged does, 2 to 3-year-old in milk. This includes back number 488, Colin Nichols, 487, Keely Nichols, and 486, Carson Nichols. Colin with the Alpine, Keely with the La Mancha Cross, and Carson with the La Mancha. These are March 2024, March 2023 born does.
Nice spots here, so we get into the dairy goat classes. I'm going to go ahead and use the young man's kind of tan goat there along the rails to start the class. I think as you start to study him, in terms of udder and teat size, this one's really uniform. She's got good sized teats on her. She's really level made. She gives you a good look from the side, really, really good about her structure. Just a nice place to start. That black goat that's going to come next too is really uniform in terms of either side of her udder. I think she's one that gets a little bit longer teated as you compare to the one that leads off. I'd like to level her out in her top one just a little bit, but obviously a high producing type of goat there as well. The goat that runs out the class is probably the fullest in terms of production. I think she's doing a really great job as far as that goes. She's maybe one that if you want to get critical, just gets a little bit longer in terms of her teeth. You just like to make them just a little smaller, but a nice trio of the goats there.
And your results out of class number 2 on the dairy goats. Out in first in purple, 488, Colin Nichols. Second in purple, 486, Carson Nichols. And third in purple, 487, Keely Nichols. I'll take us into our championship drive for the dairy goats. This will be 537, Katie Wolf. And 488, Colin Nichols. We're going to pick a champion dairy goat, and then I have the carcass contest results on the goat side. So our market goats will be listing as we have our champion, reserve champion. We'll invite them into the ring to receive their banners. And we'll give you a breakdown of the purple or the ribbon colors and placings after that. So we get carcass contest results announced after the championship drive on the dairy side.
Short on numbers, but we've got some good quality dairy goats out here. Real quick, let's go ahead and give a round of applause to our helpful ribbon girls today. They've been doing an excellent job so far, so thank you for that. The little goat from that first, as we talked, I really like the angles on her. She gives you a really nice look. I think she's really pretty about her head and her neck. I think as you get her into production, she's going to make a nice producer as well. The one that just wins, we just talked to them. I just really like the teeth size and placement. She's good at it. She's really level in her design. The one that was second, again, same story. She's good in terms of her udder. We like to level her out just a little bit. I'll go out and I'll pick a champion reserve. Congratulations to the dairy exhibitors here.
And your champion dairy goat will be 488, Colin Nichols. Your reserve champion will be 537, Katie Wolf. Congratulations to our dairy goat division. And a big thank you as well to our ring stewards here today. That's Ryan, Spencer, and Parker. We appreciate all their help in the ring, getting folks moved around where they need to be. They've all done an outstanding job. So thank you to each and everyone around the ring up here at the Secretary's table and more that has made our show possible today. Now, for the carcass contest results on the market goat side, your champion at purple is Matthew Rhodes with his tag ID 261 goat, weight 66 pounds, 8 100ths of an inch back fat, body wall thickness of 0.736, loin eye at 272, and percentage ranking at 50.422. Your reserve champion carcass goat is Cameron Rhodes with her goat 294, weight 77 pounds, 0.05, so 5 100ths of an inch back fat, body wall thickness of 0.73, a loin eye at 255, and a percentage of 49.616. As we round it out, receiving purples is Matthew and Natalie Rhodes. Receiving blues is Cameron Rhodes, Addison Howard, Carson Nichols, Abby Negley, Keely Nichols, Colin Nichols, Leah Negley, Katie Wolf, and the 2 entries. And receiving red, Hallie Jensen. That is the carcass contest results on the good side. Congratulations each and all. We've got the big show coming up at 4. Rodeo tonight with barbecue.